Do you feel like dating apps are an uphill battle? Well, a lot of men do. A client of mine, Jesse, was coming to the end of his rope. He had been on the apps for a while and he felt like he was swiping his life away for nothing. He wasn't getting very many matches, and when he did, they ended up being a catfish or they just wouldn't respond to his messages. He couldn't understand why this was happening, and frankly, neither could I. And then he came across an article that seemed to explain it all. And the article said that 90% of women are vying for the attention of only the top 10% of men. So all the swiping that he was doing, the time and the energy that he was putting into these apps, it felt like it was for nothing. We did work together to boost his success, and he was doing better on the apps. He was getting more dates, more phone numbers. It did completely transform his online dating experience, and that is a process that I'm going to share with you in this video. But first, we need to address this article and this statistic that keeps popping up everywhere on the internet. That study saying that the top 10% of men are getting 90% of the women out there, which I have to ask, is it really true? I mean, according to the study, these top 10% of dudes are the most conventionally attractive. They have the coolest, highest paying jobs. In their profiles, they showcase an expensive lifestyle. They've got like Ivy League educations and Rolexes. And apparently they are swimming in while the other 90% of men are left in the dust. And if you're thinking to yourself, what the f? Well, so was I. Okay, it is well documented that men have a harder time on apps than women. That is true. Men outnumber women on apps, and they spend on average more time swiping than women do. That means that at any given moment, you are vying with like 5 other guys that are all swiping for maybe one potential woman, and she's out having mimosas with her friends. The odds are not in your favor. And yes, that does pose a big disadvantage. But the truth is that the actual statistics are a lot more nuanced than this 90-10 theory. And understanding these nuances and how to work with them is what made my clients' online dating experiences a lot more positive and fruitful. And let me say something that I hope will make you feel better right off the top. Even if those 10% of guys are matching with all of those women, they're probably showing interest in the top 10% of women, like whatever that means. So the struggle probably evens out. But when I asked Jesse to show me his matches, I noticed that he also was really pursuing the women who were stereotypically hot. I mean, he also wasn't super invested in the women that looked average or weren't the best at taking incredibly well-posed photographs with perfect makeup. The first step was getting past the fact that it's not just women who are going after the hottest and most surface level matches. I mean, it sounds like a really good statistic in order to justify why you'll never find success in dating, why you should just give up. It's an unfair world and women are in charge. They're the gatekeepers of all the sex. Yeah. All that bullshit that you want to validate for yourself so that you don't have to try. And I'm not saying it's not hard. It's hard out here. In fact, it's hard regardless of your gender. So to me, the most relevant thing to do is to increase your chances. And you can do that by just using a few simple tips that most men do not know. And to begin this journey, let's take it off the web and put it back where it really counts, in real life. A well put together dating profile should be reflective of who you are. It should show not only your looks, but also give the woman checking you out a sense of your interests, your lifestyle, and a little bit of your personality. The so-called top 10% have it easy because they lead with status symbols, nice cars, travel pics, designer clothes, well-curated snippets from their lives. It is a low-hanging fruit, but women aren't only drawn to this because of the status elements, they're drawn to it because it tells a story of who it is that they're swiping on. Here's an attractive man who travels a lot, does well professionally, has good taste in clothes, food, music, whatever it is that he's showing. And the truth is that we all are appealing in our own way, okay? Different women are interested in different things. Not everyone wants exotic travel. That's not everyone's vibe. Everyone has an interesting story. So if you don't feel that, ask yourself, why not? Take the focus off of women for a minute and off of apps for a minute and ask yourself, are you living the kind of life that you're satisfied with and one that you are proud to show to your prospective matches? If you want to date an interesting, desirable person, you've got to feel like one yourself so that you can present yourself in that way. I mean, my client Jesse, he loved live music. He had a really cool tech job at a startup that he founded, and he had creative pursuits, but he wasn't showing any of that on his dating profile. So the first step to upping his chances for a great match was to make that profile a better reflection of him. Honestly, dating apps are shallow. It's a shallow medium. And your photos matter. They do. And look, rippling abs and photos of you at the bottom of a waterfall in Costa Rica might be appealing, but women are actually drawn to people who look interesting and confident without all of the production and the glitz and the lucky genetics. So many men out there are complaining that they're not getting matches, and yet your photos are all poorly lit, they're selfies, they're taken from like this angle inside of your apartment. Look, you can probably get away with that if you're like as hot as Oscar Isaac, but most people are gonna have to put some effort into their photos. I actually sent my client Jesse to get headshots done for his profile picture, specifically Tinder headshots, not like business headshots. Plus they felt fresh, they were seasonal. It was spring outside and it was spring in the pictures. Everyone looking knew that those were not pictures that he took 5 or 6 years ago before he had all the gray in his beard, etc. The next time that you are out, get a friend of yours to take like 20 pictures of you. And I say 20 because you're just gonna end up with one good one. Trust me, it takes at least 20 to get a single good one. I'm saying that as a professional. Yeah, it's gonna feel a little awkward to do an impromptu photo shoot at a concert. I totally get that. But the returns that you'll get on your dating profile are worth the 5 minutes of feeling awkward and uncomfortable in public. Yeah, you're gonna suck at taking pictures at first. It's an art form, okay? You just have to practice it. You can practice it just like anything else and you can get better at it. Take it from me, I had to learn this lesson professionally. Also, don't discount simple things like wearing a slightly updated outfit, styling your hair. These things make a huge difference. You wonder why women aren't enticed by your profiles, but make your profile pictures enticing. And when you're choosing your photos, make sure that you have some variety, lots of good lighting, and a little bit of personality. Next, let's talk about the second most important part of your profile, the bio. The trick to a great bio, whether it's prompts or the more traditional blurb, is to showcase a balance of fun and sincerity. This balance looks different for everyone because it is different for everyone. If you're naturally very funny, lead funny. But if that's not you, then don't fake it. If you're intellectual, write some intellectual stuff. Whatever it is, you put you out there. Write something that feels authentic to you and showcases your personality, and don't be afraid to edit it as time goes on. And also, please, for all of us, check your spelling and your grammar. Your biography is the second most important part of your dating profile, so put some effort into it. The best thing that you can do as you're writing your bio is to show it to some friends. Better yet, show it to some women in your life and ask them what they think about it. Is that someone that they find attractive? Is it accurate to who you are? It takes a village to get a good match, and this is not 2004 when people were embarrassed to admit that they were online dating. This is the 2020s. It is time to be honest and just get the information that you need. All right, let's talk about what else you can do to have the best online dating experience possible and not lose your mind as you go. Having a mindset of abundance is huge when it comes to online dating. When Jesse came to me with his frustrations, it was very, very clear that he was operating from a place of scarcity. And of course he was, because he had this story of 90% of women are going towards 10% of men, which means that he's competing for the last 10% of women. In reality, you're only looking for one good match, and this will be the person who sees you and appreciates you exactly as you are. And once you shift into a mindset of abundance, that there's plenty of single women who are interested in sleeping with you, everything changes. And instead of focusing on that 10% of men that you literally can't do anything about, you can actually make a shift in your perspective to focus on the reality, which is that there are many people out there, as they say, a lid for every jar. There is a woman out there who is interested in dating you. So keep your head high, keep focusing on yourself, and eventually someone will come along. It's true whether you're doing online dating or IRL dating. Be an interesting, connected person who takes care of themselves and has interesting things to say and a good way of explaining themselves to other people, whether that is something that you say to a person that you meet at the bar or whether that's the basis of your biography on your dating profile. Remember that there's not just one way or one place to meet women. In fact, one time, one of my group members asked, where do I meet all the single women? Where should I go? So I had everyone in my group write into the chat all of the places that they met someone that they ended up having sex with. And it was like the gas station, the library, the DMV, the coffee shop, my neighbor that I ran into in the hallway while we were getting our mail. The truth is that women who want to date and have sex with you are literally everywhere. It's just that you're so focused maybe on why it's not going to work out that you're not going to notice them when they are in front of you at your chiropractor's office trying to make eye contact. And then of course, remember that this is a numbers game. One great date is worth 100 matches, okay? The actual connection that you have with a single person is so much more important than the number of people who write you back. And this is why that 90-10 statistic just isn't doing you any favors. Okay, maybe those guys are having a lot of sex. Maybe they're drowning in, but are they having connected relationships? Are those connections fulfilling for those women? Are they even good in bed? They're not. Take my word for it. It is easy to think about the numbers and feel like women have it so much better than men, but actually they're going on dates with these like shallow guys that own Rolexes and don't know how to that doesn't sound like a good deal either, okay? Which brings me to my last bit of advice. Focus on your own journey. Comparisons do not do you any favors. They are the thief of joy. The main reason that this 90-10 myth thing is bullshit, even if it is true, is because it doesn't serve you to focus on it. The only benefit that you could possibly get out of believing this 90-10 thing is to hold yourself back by telling yourself that it is not possible. Dwelling on what other men are doing in their bedrooms and on their cell phones is not gonna get you more dates. It's not gonna make you more attractive. It's not gonna find your life partner. It is just gonna make you miserable. So my client was focusing so much on what he wasn't getting, it was making it harder for him to just focus on what he had going already for him. And energy flows where focus goes, people. So instead of worrying about what other people are doing, put that energy into setting yourself up for success. There's something like 500 videos on this channel that could help you do that, by the way. So instead of focusing on what other guys are doing, how about you focus a little bit more on making yourself into the best lover possible? Make sure that you are subscribed to this YouTube channel. And whether you're single or partnered, we can work together to make sure that you are the most confident, most sexually awesome version of yourself. I'm Caitlin B. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.